Hello. Yes. What an excellent crowd that we have here live at Curious Comedy. So excited to be here with actual human beings. Thank you so much for being here in person. We're going to have a blast. But also thank you to everybody who is out watching, because tonight is a hybrid event. And that means that we have a lot of people at home who I swear we appreciate just as much as the ones who are here. So thank you all for being here. I am Amy Faust, and this is my third year hosting. I love this organization. I actually came to a few events before I even hosted one, and I thought, what is this? It sounds weird. And by the time I left, I was crying, and I was opening up my wallet. I mean, it's just amazing. I hope you have that same experience tonight, because Playwrite is truly unique, and we are here. Let's not beat around the bush, to raise some funds to support Playwright's transformative work, and it truly is transformative. So tonight we're going to pull back the curtain on those Playwright workshops that are really at the center of what Playwright does. We're going to learn a little bit more about that and why it is just so incredibly impactful for the youth that we serve. We're going to have live performances, which is going to be amazing. We haven't been able to do that in a while. And we're going to hear from some of the people involved behind the scenes at Playwright. They always have such amazing things to say. Now, here's how you support. A couple ways you can do this. You can go to Playwright, P-L-A-W-R-I-T, Playwright 22, okay, let me try that again. Playwright22.ggo.bid. That's the website, playwright22.ggo.bid. Or you can just pick up your phone and you can text play, the word play, to 366-283. People here tonight have QR codes on their tables that they can do. And if you have any trouble at all, everybody, just flag. It's like being at Fred Meyer in the self-serve line when inevitably something goes wrong and you're like, and then someone has to come running up. We have people here every time, right? Every time. We have people here who will do that for you. They will run over if you're having any trouble with any of the tech, and same goes for you at home. Just hit us up in the chat and say, I can't figure out how to do this. We will help you do it, because that's what we're here for tonight. We also want you to chat with us, and we want you to answer a very important question. What is your wish for Portland's youth? And we'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to say this. Sharing stories, of course, is at the heart of Playwright's work. So to begin tonight, we want to honor the original storytellers of this land by acknowledging that the Portland metro area rests on the traditional village sites of the Multnomah, Wasco, Cowlitz, Cathlamet, Clackamas, bands of Chinook, Tualatin, Kalapuya, Malala, and many other tribes who made their homes right here along the Columbia River. We also acknowledge the history of the Portland metro area as a destination site for the Indian Relocation Act of 1956, which coerced many Native people to leave their homes on tribal land and assimilate into the dominant culture here in Portland. So because of this history, our region is actually home to the 9th largest urban Indian population in the United States. Did you learn that in school in Portland, Oregon? I didn't. As settlers and guests on these lands, we respect the work of Indigenous leaders and families, and we pledge to make ongoing efforts to recognize their knowledge, their creativity, and their resilience. Now tonight, we're going to celebrate Playwright and the students who we serve. This is so exciting. Since the very beginning, in fact, in 2003, Playwright has engaged over 1,000 youth at the edge. Now, this is a term that they came up with themselves. What do you want to be called? The kids who were involved with Playwright said, we think youth at the edge best describes what we all have in common and why we're here. So we've taken that up and we call them Youth at the Edge. The Playwright workshops give these young people a safe space to explore their voice, to share their stories, and to transform their experience through art. That is an incredible gift that you can give. It can be kind of hard to quantify even the value that these young writers get from Playwright's 10-day workshops. This is an unusual program. As I said, when I first came, I was like, But it is also unusually impactful. I think it shakes people up and kind of almost tricks them into learning incredible things about themselves. So the last few years have obviously been very, very challenging for all of us, but the young people in this community, it's been extra, extra tough. And so that's why we're asking you tonight, what is your wish for Portland's youth? So we're asking the people in our live audience tonight to share their thoughts, but we're asking everyone via the chat. There's a chat box right to the right of this video, right to over there, I don't know. There's a chat box. We would love it if you would share your thoughts. We want to know, what is your wish for Portland's youth? And we will share all of those answers, the answers from people here and out in the audience. And again, we appreciate all of you for being here tonight. So your support tonight is going to help Playwright's transformative workshops for youth on the edge all across our region. And again, it's playwright22.ggo.bid or play at 366-283. That's how you donate. And that's how we hope everyone at home and here will donate. So we will be reading those names and congratulating everybody who decides to do that. In fact, I'll shout them out, and I know there's going to be some clapping. If you haven't registered yet, please do. Registering gets you in on the auction. There's some stuff over there that you can bid on. And there are instructions right there on your screen how you can do that. We have some really great auction packages that I want to highlight. A scenic flight in a private plane. That sounds nice. A pizza lovers package. Bath bombs from Lush. I'm going to go bid on that. A winter CSA from Wild Roots Farm. That's fantastic. Stunning floral arrangements from Botanica. Why not give yourself flowers every once in a while? Dinner at the home of Playwright founder Bruce Livingston. That sounds like a blast, right? There's also a Portland theater package and 6 hours of house cleaning services from Tidy Gnomes. I am obsessed with that name. I want Tidy Gnomes coming in my house right now. I want little Tidy Gnomes to come and clean. Those are all that's actually just some of the stuff that you can find if you go to playwright22.ggo.bid and check out that auction. That auction is going to close midnight tomorrow night, so you still have time to check that stuff out and bid, please. Now, at the heart of the Playwright program is the one-on-one connection between the student writer and the coach. Now, we use the term coach, not teacher, because it's the coach's job to actually listen, not teach, not instruct. So that's what they do. They encourage, they ask the tough questions, and then they wait for an answer to emerge. And that's where the work really begins. So we have some very talented Playwright coaches who are with us actually tonight. Coaches, would you like to stand up, please? Yay! Thank you so much for what you do. And in fact, once you see this video, you're going to realize even more how important what they do is. You're going to find out a little bit more about what it's like to be a Playwright coach and the power of that connection, that one-on-one connection that happens with a young person.
Being a coach is intense in the best ways and also in some of the most emotional ways. Trying to hold space for the students in a way that both provides them with guidance and with a clear structure in order to lessen some of that uncertainty and anxiety, but also that doesn't constrain them in any way.
I love the games that we play just because they're the laughter moments. Watching students mess up and think it's funny and laugh and enjoy that moment. Anytime that can happen in the room, especially in the initial days of a workshop, they're just beautiful moments because they really help kind of just establish we're all in this together.
It takes a lot of empathy and concentration and patience.
It can be a really intense experience because there's times where students are uncomfortable and they don't know what to say. And more often than not, our job as a coach in that moment is to give it space and to let them come to whatever is next. I've really learned the power of that one-on-one connection. It is so, so rare to be able to give a student one-on-one attention in the way that Playwrite does. I've rarely had that type of experience. It's usually, wrangling 16 students at once and trying to, work them through a theatrical process.
Because we have just as many, if not a couple more coaches than writers in the Playwrite process, there's always a chance for these writers to be working with essentially a mentor, a coach, one-on-one. It's almost like they have a clean slate with us as coaches. They are not their caseworker, their foster parents, their parents, their teachers, anyone that has any prior knowledge of them or some of the issues or some of their challenges that they've had in both education or at home. And they can feel and be however they want to, and we're still there to help support them in this process.
I learned a long time ago that when you're working with young people, the phrase is, don't mold them, help them unfold. And to me, that means I don't want you to be a certain type of artist, but I want to help you discover the type of artist you are and help you to be able to express that. And I think that's kind of one of the core principles of Playwright.
One of the most important things that I have learned from working with Playwright is just how much creativity people have. It's very difficult to feel that vulnerable and that free unless you have something soft conceptually to land on.
There's so many little micro moments of discovery, especially in that second week when you're working with one specific student every day. Those little moments of watching them discover something, push through, sit with this uncomfortable moment, and then come up with an idea.
Seeing the light in these writers' eyes when they feel seen and they feel like what they have to say is valid and respected, and finding these little pathways into their creativity and into that possibly younger part of them that has not given up hope that they have something of value to give to the world, that they have something of value to say, that they have personal experience to express and bring to these characters and bring to this process.
It is really, really worth it. It's some of the most fulfilling work that I have ever done.
Whew. What'd I tell you? Let's give a hand to those coaches who do such incredible work. I loved what they said about allowing people to be vulnerable. There are a lot of people who don't get the chance to do that, but these kids are feeling safe, feeling seen, and that allows them to be vulnerable and have these breakthroughs. That is the power of connection that Playwright provides for these young writers, and that is really a beautiful thing. Oh, and before I forget, you know what else is beautiful? Is the Willamette Valley when you go on a wine tour. How is that for a segue? We have a raffle that I want to make sure everybody knows about. It is a private guided wine tour of the Willamette Valley, donated by a Great Oregon Wine Tour. It's for up to 4 people. It's valued at $1,000. Raffle tickets are just $10. If I were you, I'd buy like 20. I'm just saying. I don't know, 30? That's how I roll. And I win a lot of raffles. So they're priced very affordably so that you can buy a lot of them. And of course, support Playwright. And that, again, we're going to be drawing not tonight. We're going to be drawing that when the auction ends tomorrow night at midnight. So you want to just click that buy tickets button that is above the live stream, or just buy them from our staff here. Just say, excuse me, I'd like to buy a bunch of raffle tickets, a lot of raffle tickets. So that's going on. Remember, we asked what you would want for Portland's youth. What's your wish? Brendan and Larry are watching on the live stream. Hi. Hi. And they say, nice, good. They wish for a greener world for Portland's youth, a safer, greener world for Portland's youth. That is beautiful. And that's the kind of thing we love to hear. And that's what we're trying to make happen tonight here with your donation and your help. So, working with the coaches, as we've talked about, each young person that works with Playwrite is able to explore these depths of their own creativity, a lot of times really for the first time that they really get to do this. So these young writers are very seriously creative. And in case you're new to Playwrite and you don't know what we're talking about when we say writers and creating, we are talking about asking these writers to create non-human characters. Now that's a little strange, but that's sort of the key to Playwrite. That's kind of what makes it work. It taps into their creativity in a different way, and it kind of lets them depersonalize the emotions that they have and sort of just put stuff into their plays that really means something to them, but they can distance themselves just enough to make something really powerful. So you kind of have to see these characters to understand. And now that we're back in person, we get to do that again. So let's meet 6 original characters who were created by Playwrite students.
From The Separation of Friends by Tyler, we meet Junior, a white pillow with a shattered glass design who is speed inching down the path.
No, I ain't going. I'm not going to your show. I'm going to my stuffin' tawsuit class. I need to live my dream because it's what I do. I want to feel accepted and not hated no more. I want to make my design the inspiration for pillows that want to be different. All of the pillows started hating on me for being unique. I'm going to prove them all wrong. I'm going to get my tawsuit license and have the best designs in the Daily Bark Chip, the Woodlands Web. I want to see my designs on pillow backs. I want the pillows to feel unique and one of a kind. It will make me inspired to do more because I, as a pillow, have a meaning. To be what I want to be. Not for you to decide what I want to be or anyone else. I want to follow my own path.
From The Pillow and Panther Separation by Chris, we meet XZ. The anxious Black Panther is walking in a fast pace, going forwards and then back. He is talking to himself.
Am I a coward for not wanting to fight? No. Does that make me weak? No. That doesn't make me weak. I'm being smart. Because I know I hate fighting, I'm scared of fighting, and I'm just trying to survive. But then there's the social pressure of fighting. And what are the other Panthers going to think about me? Well, they don't understand how I feel. 1, because I don't tell them. And 2, because I will look like a coward. I will be called an unworthy Panther, other rude names, and I will look weak. And I don't like that.
From A Strange Bird by Faye, we meet Cloris, an old brass pocket watch coated with elegant filigree. Scratched and dulled by age, a crack running across her glass face, she ticks with clockwork, erratic and offbeat. She sits on the top layer of a bookshelf inside the structure. Dust coats every surface, and old books loom behind her.
You think you know so much from owning just a few stories. It is true that I was once a glorious pocket watch, Filigree shining golden in the sunlight through this very window. Oh, how I would have blinded your eyes if you had seen me back then. Pure gold and elegant craftsmanship I was. The very sun rose and fell with the tick of my clockwork. All the creatures of the world would come to admire me, perfect as I was. Birds sang my praises. Trees shifted roots and trunk alike to get a glimpse of me. Oh, vain I was, but rightfully so. For I was the glory of these woods. I was satisfied then to sit atop this shelf. There was no need for me to go beyond it, but as time went on, the creatures came less and less. But I, in my vanity, did not notice until nobody came at all. I think I dwindled in those last few years. Clockwork beginning to go awry and metal dulling. Now I creak and ache with every move. Oh, I'm useless now with no one to visit me. I hide here, ashamed of all that I've become.
From I Don't Know About This by Chris, we meet Ebony, a 1.5-year-old gray leatherback sea turtle with white speckles.
It was a big 4.5-inch crack. It would bleed almost every other day. And for me to be able to fix it, I had to get salt water from the sea and make a paste from the sand along with some jellyfish lying on the shore. I needed some rare gold conch shells to go along with the mix. I went to the bottom of the kelp forest where it gets dark. And even though I am afraid of the dark, I searched for 30 minutes until I ran out of oxygen and had to return to shore. And then I remembered you mentioning you had gold conch shells.
From To Be Young Again, we meet Willie, the 1,000-year-old tree, wakes up standing straight, reaching towards the sky, and Timmy, a 70-year-old Tondel watch, is propped up very angry and upset, looking up at Willie.
I want to feel young again. I want to feel important. And the only way I can feel that is through this polish, but I don't have it. I just need to find a way to be me, to be young again.
I get it, Timmy. I know how that feels. To want to be young again. Heck, I am 1,000 years old. But being this old, I realize for me, it's not always the physical aspect of being young again, but what's on the inside, yeah? Your spirit. That's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you young.
There you have it, friends. Let's give them a hand. All characters created by young writers with the help of Playwrite. All characters that help them explain things that they might not have been able to explain otherwise. Selfies. Thank you so much. To all of you, that was incredible. How often do you get to see something like that? I mean, to think as you're hearing the words, who wrote those words and what it meant to that person to actually get those words out there, and then to see someone else performing that. That's what makes Playwright so special. It's all about empowerment. It's taking the words that someone has written, maybe feeling vulnerable, and taking that and putting that out there with real actors. It's pretty empowering. And talking about empowerment, you actually have a pretty special opportunity right now to be a part of empowering the youth in this program and the youth in our community. By the way, we asked, what do you wish for the youth of Portland? Chris, watching at home. Hi, Chris. One person this time. There you go. Hi, Chris. Chris at home wishes for Portland's youth to have the freedom to find and be themselves. That's perfect. Thank you, Chris. I love that. Now, here's what I want to tell you. We have a great matching challenge tonight. So this is where you come in. There's a Donate Now button if you're watching from home. And if you're here, you've got that QR code, or you can just text the word play, P-L-A-Y, to 366-283. All gifts that you make tonight, up to $10,000, are going to be matched. So let's see if we can make that happen tonight. You at home and you in person tonight. Let's see if we can do that. We are here at Curious Comedy, and we can do it, as I said, if you just want to raise your hand and say, help me, that's fine too. You don't have to do the QR code or the text or any of that stuff. Now, while you're making those gifts, I want to show you something that's a little bit more about empowerment. We talked about this. This is the empowerment that young writers get through the Playwright Workshop.
I think that Playwright is important to the world at large and the community at large because creativity and investment in our youth is important to the community at large. We're facing ever increasingly complex problems in the world, and I think creativity, creative expression, creative problem solving, all of that is going to be of the utmost importance for this upcoming generation. So I think one of the most important things we can do is invest in the creative development of young people, and Playwright does that.
And I think in our modern society, we've spent probably 50 years in systems that have kind of been built more or less to make us feel like we have limited value and limited power. And I feel like these experiences and this process and what Playwright does is almost like an inoculation against that.
In a time when we are seeing so many fine arts budgets getting cut at all levels of schooling, at all levels of community programming,
I think that the more students that Playwright can serve, the better.
We do have a coach to writer ratio, a 1-to-1. And right now, that takes resources. It's such a unique opportunity for these young people. And it needs to continue. And we need your help to do it.
I'm a firm believer in letting people find their extemporaneous voice, having them feel that that's valued and encouraged, simply because the world feels structured a different way to not allow for that. And so I see Playwright as a form of medicine in a certain sense, not only for society, but for individual souls who are looking for belonging.
As a trans person and a member of the queer community, so much of our lives is about fighting a story that is put on top of us from outside, a story that we have grown up with, and it can be really frightening when you first come out to figure out what your story is now and what your life is going to be. There's not a script anymore. And figuring out how to ask questions of yourself and how to start framing that development and examining your feelings is an incredibly crucial skill that a lot of communities need in specific.
I think Playwright teaches young people that strength comes from vulnerability and honesty, and that the more vulnerable you can be, the stronger you will feel as a person. And I think Playwright, again, helps nurture and support those values.
And seeing some of these students who would be considered marginalized, at risk, fully in risk. There have been times where I have seen the Playwright process impact these students to the point that they become advocates in their community. They become more social. They become more involved in themselves and their education and their community.
I think Playwright creates actual change and impact. Every Playwright workshop I have gone to, there is change that you can see in that young writer from day one to the last day. So I'd say if you're interested in supporting something that is actually going to make tangible impact and change, you cannot make a better contribution than the one you would make to playwriting.
Yes. Could not have said it better myself. What a great video that really summed up so much and why this is so important. You heard it. It's medicine for the soul. And it's letting people know that their voices matter. And that is why we're all here tonight, because it's hard to know what to do. We're talking about youth on the edge, as they've titled themselves. It's hard to know. How can I help a person feel seen? How can I help a person make the change that we know they want to make? Well, as you heard tonight from the coaches, this is a tried and true way to do it. And that's why you've all chosen to be here tonight. And that's why right now is the most important part of the night, because we're going to ask you to raise your hand and commit to a level of donation that feels comfortable for you. And remembering that your money is going to get matched. Get matched tonight up to $10,000. And Catherine, you're going to let me know if we hit that $10,000, right? And we better hit that $10,000. So let's see what we can do. What we're going to do is we're going to start out at the $1,600 level. What? That's weird. Here's why. It costs $1,600 to provide the Playwright workshop for one young person on the edge. That's pretty affordable. And as you've seen, it does incredible things. $1,600 is the exact cost for one person on the edge to experience Playwright. So can you make a gift of $1,600 tonight and provide that workshop to a young person? I'm just going to ask you to raise your hand, and Catherine is going to make note of it. Who here tonight feels comfortable donating $1,600 to make that possible for one student? Anybody? Anybody already do it tonight and you want to raise your hand because you already did it? We'd love to cheer you on. Anybody at home? Now is your moment. $1,600, one student experiences this incredible program. We're going to now move on to $1,000, a nice round number. Who here would like to support at $1,000? Let's give a clap to anyone at home or here who's feeling like $1,000 is the number for them. $1,000 that will go toward the transformation that you saw spoken about tonight. These characters, these offbeat kind of strange way of getting at what is really meaning so much to these kids and what they want to put out there, and then to have it seen and performed. They get to direct. They get to become directors. It's incredible. So $1,000, last chance for $1,000. Is that a wave? No, it's a pointing. But that's great. We have some people at home. Can you flip the screens, Catherine, so I can thank people at home who are donating? Can you put that one? I can't see it. Carrie Goldring, Catherine Lefevre herself. Bruce Livingston, thank you so much for your donation. I think there's something here. Is it Kathy Jennings on the screen? Who, yes, board member Kathy Jennings has donated from home. Thank you so much, Kathy. So we are working toward that match. We must get to that match. Let's try $500. Who's feeling good about $500 for Playwright? Right back there, $500. Thank you so much. Let's give him a huge hand. Yes, making the momentum happen. $500 toward Playwright. Thank you so much. $500 right there. Again, thank you so much. Yay. This is fantastic. And we're getting, we have a little bit more. Do we have anything more coming in at home? I'm going to check that screen. Not quite yet. $500. One more chance for $500. Look at everyone looking at the screen. Come on, people at home. You can do this. All right, how about the $100 level? You know what? I'm going to do $250. I'm supposed to just go to 100, but I'm going to do $250. Who's feeling like $250 feels good? Right there, Kevin, thank you so much. $250 from Kevin. That's my husband. So that means that we just donated twice? No, he's just waving. Okay, thanks, honey. At home, $250 if it feels right for you. Of course, any amount at any time if you're checking in from home. We so appreciate every level of donation. We're gonna try. Look at that, 6725. 6725. We can do this. Now we're gonna go to the $100 level, and I'm gonna be prancing around the room, thanking each and every one of you. Who feels like $100 is right there? Yes! Woohoo! Amazing. Look at all these hands. Catherine, you're going to be very busy. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's so great. Thank you so much at the $100 level. That makes such a difference. Now, again, you are providing the supplies, you're providing the funds needed to make this program happen that we've seen tonight and that we've seen how incredible it is. And you're gonna see more of this program. How close are we? I'm gonna give Catherine a minute to just update that a little bit and see if we can get to the next level. But in the meantime, let's see a student's vision realized in a full play, shall we? I know we've been talking about this, and you've been hearing everybody talk about how impactful it is and how unusual it is, but you kind of have to see a full play in order to understand that. And that's what's great about tonight is that we're back in person and you can actually see this happen in person. So here is a play that Andrew Harris and Darius Pierce will be performing. It's called Enclosed Freedom. And again, on the last day of these 10-day workshops, the writer gets to direct. So they've been directed by this student. But Enclosed Freedom is what you're about to see. So I'm going to introduce the most fantastic man in the room, Playwrite Program Manager Victor Mack. Where are you, Victor? I'm going to let him introduce tonight's play. Enclosed Freedom.
I see what you did there.
Right.
Hello, folks. Thank you for joining us. This is a special treat right here. This play is called Enclosed Freedom by Fabian. I'm stepping back into the light so I can read this. We meet DB, an otter with black fur and white streaks, who is walking around because he can't sleep. He's walking slowly and kind of sleepy. He stumbles into the middle of a group of mushrooms. Spot, a mushroom with 3 orange spots on his head, is lashing back and forth, yelling and screaming for help.
Help! I know you birds like worms.
What's going on?
I'm being attacked. Get these caterpillars off me now. Thank you.
What was going on? Why were they attacking you? Oh, and you're welcome.
The caterpillars randomly attack me. They think poisonous stuff is more tasty, and because
you're orange spots, they think you're poisonous. Yeah?
No, it's because of my arms.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was because of your wings.
Yeah. Well, I bet it bothers you that you have to help me, even though you hate me.
Actually, I like helping. I just don't like weird mushrooms that pick their gills.
I don't pick my gills. I actually spore myself.
Gross. What was that for?
I don't like how you just walk around our triangle and give me weird looks. Also, it always sounds like you want to end our conversations quickly, even though you're the one who starts them.
Okay, I give you weird looks because you're picking your gills. And I end the conversations early because you don't seem like you even want to have them, even though you're a mushroom stuck in one place for all eternity.
I'd rather be doing something else, because all we talk about is how you hang out with the honey badgers and how you get stung by bees and act like the stings don't hurt you, even though you're an otter acting like a honey badger.
Shh! They'll hear you.
Why don't you ever just leave me alone?
Look, I'm trying to figure out why you're always talking about needing stronger protection. Your spores are good enough for anything out here. You know, it would usually scare any animal away.
Then why doesn't it make you run away?
Because I want to help you out. I want to hear what type of protection you need so I can help in any way.
Well, all I want to do is to be able to live my life peacefully without being attacked.
Okay, then let me know what you need.
I need a wall high enough to keep away anything.
Okay.
I need a puddle of water with enough water to fill a lake. I need nothing but the best mahogany to snack on.
Okay.
And I need a loft space to be able to do my little dance.
Okay. How about a wall that will keep out the caterpillars and then just use your spores for everything else?
Well, having a wall would be nice because caterpillars are my main problem. But what if my spores don't work? What if it's my taste? That's why he's gone.
First of all, your spores are gonna work. They just worked on me. Second of all, who's he? And third of all, your spores work. They just worked on me?
You really think they would work?
Yes, they just worked on me. Okay, were you listening?
Just wanted you to say it again.
Okay. Look, I have a few beaver friends, okay? I can ask them to help me build your wall.
Would you really do that for me? Really? Really, really?
Yes, if it will make your life peaceful and would make you happy for 2 lifetimes, I will.
Really? 'Cause I don't want to take your whole day. You can still hang out with the honey badgers.
Yes, just give me some time and I'll figure out where we can get the wall built.
All right, I want it around the entire triangle, and I want it built in 2 weeks.
Okay. Might take longer than 2 weeks, depending on the size of the materials. I think we could build it within a month.
Within a month? The caterpillars might attack again before you're done with the wall.
Well, if it makes you feel better, we can start just around your cluster.
Yeah, good. That.
All right. Now I need to go make some beaver friends.
Wait, what?
Nothing.
Andrew Harris and Darius Pierce. That was incredible. I mean, how often do you get to see something like that? I love these plays. It's like Aesop's fables, right? It's like they're writing new fables. They're funny. They're getting something, the writers are getting something out that they needed to get out, but they're doing it so brilliantly and with such humor. I love this program. And if you do too, we are just so glad that you're here and that you're participating. But it turns out that we have about $3,000 to go before we hit that challenge. And we would really, really love to hit that challenge because that's a matching challenge, and that means that we can keep this program going. So I'm just going to try to hit you all up one more time and see if anyone feels, I don't know, with 3,000 to go, does anyone change their mind about the $250 level by any chance? Anybody feeling like that's just suddenly what they want to do? I see a nod of the head. Well, wait a minute. Okay. What just happened, Catherine? She dropped in some money. It's that simple. I imagine there are some people that we should thank for this money, should we not? What the heck? Terry Fitch. Terry Fitch. We love Terry Fitch. She has swooped in and made this happen. It looks like, have we reached our goal then, Catherine? We haven't reached our goal. We still have, all right, sorry. We still have 3,000 to go. She counted, okay. We still have 3,000 to go. So, right, some people were kind of going like this, and it was like, is it because you're about to give $250? Or was it because you're like, hey, dummy, it says 12 grand back there. But if it was because you're gonna give $250, we'd love you to raise your hand one more time. We'd love to reach this goal. Or if you'd like to just add one more $100. Have we poured more wine? Should we pour some more wine? Who needs wine? Raise your hand. No, I'm just kidding. That sounds like a trick. If anybody would like to contribute any more tonight to this incredible program, which is truly unique and transformative. I mean, anyone who knows, you've seen it in action. We'd love to bring the students here, but out of respect for, it's actually quite, it's a thing. Their privacy is the most important thing. So that's why you haven't seen any students, but you've seen their views and thoughts and what's most important to them reflected on the stage tonight. So for those of you who have contributed tonight at home and here in person, we cannot thank you enough. And we also have a few other people who we'd like to thank. But of course, if you want to raise your hand, we'll give you a big, loud, cheering thank you if anyone changes their mind. Anybody? Okay, no pressure. I would really like to thank a lot of people tonight. And again, you can always go to the auction and bid and support Playwrite that way. And the auction closes tomorrow at midnight. So I want to thank the board members because I know that they work tirelessly all year long and they make this happen. So let's give a big hand to Matthew Robinson, Kathy Jennings, Carrie Goldring, Brad Fortier, Nancy Campbell-Mead, Sherry Lamoureux, Jane Unger, and Pamela Sterling for their tireless work. Yay! Yes. Thank you to all of you. You make this happen. Our event team, Catherine Lefevre, Victor Mack, Ashley Olson, Amy Farr, Debbie Frank, they're all here tonight and they all appreciate you being here tonight. Thank you so much to our amazing auction partners. There are too many to name, but they are all listed in the screen for the credits. Thank you to the AV department. They do such a great job. See, I sound so good. They do a great job. Never a problem with AV department. Curious Comedy Theater, thank you for partnering with us for this hybrid event, our first hybrid. Thank you so much for joining us and for supporting Playwrite. We can't thank you enough. And again, that auction is open till midnight. You can get those raffle tickets. Participate in any way you can. It means so much to us. But to those of you at home, thank you so much. This is the end of our broadcast. Oh, I love stuff like this. I really do. Hi, Bruce. I'm Amy.
Hi, Amy. I know.
Yeah, I know. We've met virtually, but we've never met in person. You take this now and you do your thing.
I have to. I don't know about those lights, but I had to come up because you noticed that the actors, these are all the finest actors in the Northwest. They were all reading those scripts. And there's a really clear reason why they do that. Years and years ago, when we started the program, there was a lot of interest in doing full productions of the plays with sound and costumes and music and that sort of stuff. So we did that twice. And both times when I went back to the kids who had written the plays 2 weeks after we did the full production, which was sometimes after we'd done the one like you saw tonight. I asked them, which was better? Which did you like more? And they said the stage readings. I said, why? Because they read my words. Now, these kids are 15, 16 years old. They know every bloody word that they put down, and it means a lot to them. It's fabulous. I've been gone for 3 years. I'm so touched by seeing these guys again. I mean, they're the most best actors, coaches in the world. I love them all. It's a great game. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bruce. That is so true. They read my words. That's what it's all about. That really, really means a lot. And I've been speaking to a lot of the actors and the coaches tonight. To be back in person again and be able to work again means so much to everyone. I mean, kids in school, it's been so rough these past few years. So this program really means more than it ever has. And so any amount you can support is fantastic. I think I was pretty much done thanking everyone. Was I, Catherine? Is it time to say goodnight to the hybrid people? To the virtual people? And then just hang out with the real people? Okay. People joining us from home, thank you so, so much for your contributions. We appreciate you. And that concludes the broadcast portion of our evening. Thank you so much for joining us. The credits are rolling, ladies and gentlemen.